In the last episode, we showed that the Buffalo Bills were no match for our team. And look, I'm happy with how the Jets are playing. We're seeing some good strides from Sam Darnold. Joe Mixon's even coming along. And that wide receiver core, they're looking pretty solid too. But all of us know that this team needs a whole lot of work still. So I'm glad to finally show you guys a snippet of the draft class we're going to be using this year. Now, as you guys can see, Nick Bosa, Ed Oliver, Justin Herbert, Jonah Williams, a lot of the big names you guys are used to seeing in kind of these mock drafts coming up. They're right there at the top. So we're using this draft class. We're going to see how things go. But I want to know from you guys, who are the big players we should be drafting? On the left-hand side of your screen, you can kind of see my defensive needs. If I go back to the offensive side, you can see those. The left tackle is obviously a big position of need for us. So I'm going to say, look, we're looking at 4 left tackles here. Jonah Williams, Trey Adams, Mitch Hyatt, and Antoine Cobb. Those are 4 big guys, honestly, that could help change our offensive line going into next season. But again, as I mentioned, there's so many players in this draft class that are going to be impactful. I mean, even A.J. Brown could be a guy that we try and snag because we have 2 draft picks. If you look at it on the left-hand side of your screen again, right now we're projected for the 4th overall pick and the 8th overall pick in the 1st round. Maybe we could trade down. I don't know what you guys think, but again, leave me some comments down below with what you think my draft strategy should be, and maybe I'll use some of your advice. A lot of you guys have also wanted to know, how is the Offensive Rookie of the Year race going? And as you saw in the previous time, Josh Allen was slightly ahead of Sam Darnold, and well, that still ends up being the case as of right now. And if you're curious from like a stat perspective how these guys are matching up, Josh Allen has 3,200 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 12 interceptions right now, and a 78% passer rating. Sam Darnold is obviously behind in passing yards. He's thrown more touchdowns, but he has thrown more interceptions and a slightly better QB rating. So basically, to win that race, you need a lot more touchdowns, fewer interceptions, and a couple big yardage games for sure. We're back at home this weekend. We're taking on a dynamic Houston Texans team that is loaded with young talent, and some of the guys have been injured. Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson, obviously coming off a big injury last season. But when this team is healthy, they are full of young talent, and in my opinion, one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL because they have DeAndre Hopkins, who I think is the most underrated receiver in the NFL. Dude is a crazy catch radius, and when Deshaun Watson's healthy, connecting with him, our defense has to be on their A game. Look at the playoff picture. The Patriots, Jags, Raiders, and Steelers are there, and we're nowhere in this picture whatsoever. We're going to get this drive started off, getting the ball to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's going to go up the middle, and the running struggles seem to be back. The interesting thing about Mixon, too, is that he's been hurt so much this season that we haven't really been able to see what he can do over the course of a year. I mean, still right now, he's under about 400 yards passing, which it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Look at this. Darnold throws a dot to Enunwa. Enuma's going to keep it moving. He upgraded his stuff a little bit. Oh, Enunwa goes for the juke and then gets thrown down. But we're down to the 28 now. Coach Vini's pretty happy. The run didn't work, but the passing game, even in the rain, looked pretty good. So we're going to line up here. J.J. Watt's on the inside, Clowney on the out. We're going to try to hand this ball off to Mixon, but it's going nowhere again. I don't want to become too predictable, but we've ran it didn't work, so we passed it, and that worked. So again, we ran it didn't work. We're going to go to pass it and hope that it works. Now, double blitz coming off the edge. We're going to throw this one's going to be close. That one is caught. Robbie Anderson has it jarred out at the last second. We got a big 3rd down and 12 here. Coach Vini says, look, go back to the pass. Too many yards to try to run it here. We want to at least get a field goal, so we got to make sure we protect this one. Darnold's back. Lots of time. Guy across the middle here. And Anderson makes a catch on this one, and he's down to 16. Couple of solid passing plays now. We're feeling a little bit good. So we're going to go back to the running game, but this time, Darnold says switch it to the right-hand side. That side should be a little bit more successful. So we go to hand it off, and nowhere to run for Mixon yet again.
Holding offense.
And that definitely made it worse. After that big holding play, it's 1st and 20 now. We're going to put Anderson in motion. Darnold under center is going to drop. He's got a guy in Walford. He's going to float it. He gets hit as he tries to throw it, though. Big sack there by Covington. I mean, kind of needless to say that this drive is not going exactly how we wanted to. So we're going to hope that we can just get some sort of yardage here to keep a field goal, because the 1st down seems kind of implausible right now. We're going to see Darnold throwing a little bit too much, though. He got rid of that one. Pryor caught it, but it's going to be out of bounds. So 3rd and 27. This is not exactly where Coach Vini thought we would be. This drive was going pretty well after we had a couple of failed runs, and here we are now just hoping to try to get a field goal out of it. Darnold again, all the time in the world. He's going to loft one up. It's going to be to the back of the end zone where only his guy can get it, and unfortunately, it's out of bounds. It's field goal time. There's also big news coming out of camp this week for the Jets is that Cairo Santos has his contract offer withdrawn, so he will not be with the Jets going into next season. And he didn't help himself in free agency with that missed field goal. Now the Texans have moved the ball down to the 41. Good position so far for them. Deshaun Watson's going to make a little adjustment at the line. So I hand that one off to Miller. Miller is going to get met by Jamal Adams, the defensive captain. A major 3rd down and 9. Darren Lee, 2 tackles on the day so far, as well as Jamal Adams. Let's see what Avery Williamson can do here. He's keying in on Lamar Miller. They're going to go to no play action fake. Watson again rolling out to the right-hand side. He's going to get hit from behind, however. Huge sack by Courtney Upshaw. And the Texans line up for a field goal, but we honestly don't believe them because that is going to be a 60. That's right, 60-yard field goal. This one is up. This one is not even close to being good, and it's going to be short. So it's easy to say that offensively, this game has not been really too great for either team. So Darnold goes to the play action fake to start this one off. He's got his tight end moving, and it's tipped away. Darnold's still trying to find some sort of groove so far in today's game, so 2nd down and 10. Crowding the line of scrimmage here. Darnold's going to try to get rid of it, but Jadeveon Clowney has other plans, and he sacks him. The Jets have tried a lot, and it hasn't really worked, and Jadeveon Clowney on the last play got his 16th sack of the season. That's the whole line. They blitz again here. Robbie Anderson goes up, and Robbie Anderson does not come down with the ball. 2 for 7 on the day for Darnold. Oh, a fumble's going to be forced on the punt. This was going to be scooped. The Jets have the football on the 14. You couldn't have planned that one better. The Jets punted deep. It would have been inside the 20. And the returner fumbles it, leaving the Jets with prime field position to try to score inside the red zone already, a place they haven't really been in today's game. Sam Darnold still struggling a bit today, but look, 2nd and 10. Field goal with nothing else at this point. Pressure's not really there. He's got a guy across the middle. He's going to hit Macklin. Macklin is going to do something of a little positive yards to get down at the 5. So the Jets originally wanted to run this one, but they haven't really had success there, so they're going to stop and chill for a sec. Got a guy going, and he's going to get sacked again. Darnold was trying to find a guy, but Reeder had other ideas. So nothing major here for the Jets, but they do have a chance for a field goal. This one's going to be up. This one is good by Santos as he connects on that one. The Jets are finally on the board against the Texans. Now, after we got a field goal, the Texans decided to play copycat, and they went down and got a field goal of their own. So here we are, trying to do something positive with Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon finally rattles off about a 4-yard carry. 2nd down and 7. Again, Darnold moves in shotgun here. Goes to the play action fake. He's going to throw that one like a jailbreak screen. Robbie Anderson's out here running. It doesn't get as far as we want, but that should be a 1st down. I mean, Darnold hasn't gotten the full grasp of the playbook, but he's pretty much there. We're towards the end of the year, and there's only a handful of plays he doesn't really have a good grasp of. So you see the jailbreak screen there. You see a more traditional run here by Joe Mixon, and again, the yards just aren't there against his defensive line. 2nd down here. Texans are stacking the line pretty hard. It's like a blitz. Darnold trying to get rid of it, and he just throws it away. With 4 minutes left here in the half, the Jets desperately need to do something. Get a couple more 1st downs, get some points on the board. Just do something against this defense. So Darnold's going to try to thread the needle, but the Texans weren't having any of it, and they force another punt. Just wait a second. Houston gets the ball on a punt. They run a couple of plays, but an interception is taken by Avery Williamson, and now look who has the ball on the doorstep against this Houston's defense, and yeah, the running game's still not working. So on 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line, 2-minute warning nearly upon us. We need some points for the Jets. Darnold trying to get into the end zone for the first time today. We're going to see him chill. Darnold's going to step up in the pocket. Look at Sam Darnold showing off the legs, young fella. He says, oh, don't mind if I do. First touchdown today for the Jets, and it's a Sam Darnold rushing touchdown. Who would have thought it? And the Texans have played copycat a lot in today's game. We're going to see what they can do here. This ball's thrown, and Claiborne nearly taps it out, but it is caught. But it ultimately feels like if the Jets score a field goal, the Texans score a field goal. If the Jets score a touchdown, well, we're going to see if they can actually score a touchdown too. Watson all by himself, throws it out to the left. Oh, the right side, and what a catch by Hopkins. Again, the most underrated receiver in the league. Now we're in big boy territory. 12-yard line, under 50 seconds left. Can we get a stop here? Make sure they don't tie it up going into halftime. Williamson looking for the sack. He's going to go across the middle, but unfortunately, Will Fuller did too. He replaced the spot that we blitzed from, and just like that, the Texans are on the board to tie it up at 10. We got decent field position off of the return, and with 40-ish seconds left, we could maybe go down and get a field goal to have a nice little cushion going into halftime. Now we're going underneath here. Jeremy Macklin goes to try to do something, and it doesn't work, so we call our first timeout. Darnold again, moving under center. Joe Mixon in the backfield with him. We got Macklin going deep on this one, as well as Robbie Anderson. Let's take the... Oh, he's got him deep. He's got him. He sends it deep. Robbie Anderson's running. And he's overthrown by about a 2-yard step. If the Jets are going to score in a big play and at least get into field goal territory, that was likely going to be the play. So it's 3rd down and 4. Darnold again, all by his lonesome. He's going to throw it as he gets hit. He's got Anderson again, and Anderson doesn't make an effort for it. The Jets are absolutely kicking themselves, and Darnold just doesn't know what's going on. Robbie Anderson, 2 balls right there. One, you could argue that maybe he shouldn't have caught. The second one, for sure he should have caught. And whenever you see a lack of effort of that nature, you got to wonder, is he unhappy? Could Anderson just want the ball more? Does he not want to run those routes? Or does he not want to be in a team like the Jets? A lot of different scenarios, a lot of questions. We just don't know the answers yet. But with the state of this team and how we're trying to change the culture here, look, if there's a player that doesn't want to be in this squad, we can let him go in the offseason, that's for sure. Now, when blitz comes off the edge, Breland is going to sack Watson, and that's his first sack of the game. 2nd and 19, Deshaun Watson moves the running back to his other side here. It's like a run. Miller's trying to get to the edge. Bass can't get to him. He spins back inside, and Miller gets about 8. 3rd and 10, you know Watson's going to be passing here. 0 chance they run. Here with the pass, Watson dumps it out to the flats. Clayborne's going to whiff. Miller chose to spin again, but Claybore says, I'm not going to miss twice on one play. The Jets offense comes out here for the first time in the second half, and look, the defense did their job. The question is, can the offense do their job too? And we got a guy moving, and Darnold overthrows him. And honestly, we were talking about Robbie Anderson earlier and his lack of effort. Maybe the issue isn't in Robbie. Maybe the issue is actually here in our quarterback, Sam Darnold. Going to a halfback screen. Oh no, he fumbles. Darnold is going to fumble. The Texans are going to pick it up, and just like that, they're on the board with a 7-point lead. So many times in the NFL, games like this one are decided by one single play. Now, Darnold, you can make a mistake, but how you bounce back from it, that's what guys are going to remember. Now, Robbie Anderson tries to get one there, and double coverage is not going to get it. What's been unfortunate is we haven't been able to get the running game going, and a lot of that is our offensive line has had some issues. We've seen Richie Incognito get hurt today. He's had a bruised forearm, so he's playing hurt as well. And the unfortunate part is that when Joe Mixon is only running 10 rushes for 14 yards, that makes it incredibly tough for our young quarterback to, do something productive, because they're going to be stacking coverage basically there all around. And we got Terrell Pryor wide open. We're going to see him there, and Terrell Pryor's going to haul that one in for a 12-yard gain. Oddly enough, that's actually Terrell Pryor's first catch of the entire ballgame. So first down nearly at the midfield section. Underneath, we're going to find Mixon. Mixon with a good juke move left a guy in his dust, and then he got down to the 47. Going to try to go back to the running game here. Look, Mixon's getting involved a little bit. He's feeling a little shifty. Can he get past the big front four of Houston? And he's going to try to run. Oh, look at this. Mixon got more yards on that carry, I think, than he's gotten all game long. Houston's got to be scared now, because if this running game gets going, they just might be in trouble. But again, we're down 7, so we're the ones that have to be thinking about being in trouble here. And Mixon's going to get out to the edge. Can't really truck over a guy, but he picks up 2. Now, our team just got horrible news. Our left guard, Carpenter, has an abdominal tear, and he is gone for the rest of the game. And you have to imagine a couple of weeks, too. So 2nd down and 8, we go to the play action, which may not be the smartest thing in the world to do when you've got a left guard out. And we're going to see that one caught and dropped by Jeremy Maclin. And I think one thing we found this year is that we've made a lot of free agent acquisitions, a lot of trades, and not all of them are working out. I'm still willing to give Joe Mixon some time to grow, but if we draft a young running back that's a stud, maybe we go with them instead. Now, here we go. Darnold's going to throw one in to the camera crew area. That would have been a touchdown to tie it. So we're going to line up for a field goal here. And again, I think we have some guys that work, but one guy that definitely has not worked has been Jeremy Maclin. So I have a feeling we're not going to be re-signing him. But the good news is we hit this field goal to cut it to 4. Lots of pressure for this defense right now. You got to know that Houston's going to look to do something. If they score here, they could feel pretty comfortable to riding it out the rest of the game. But if they don't score here, well, they could be in trouble. Now, a quick check down, and look at this. Williamson, he was lurking. The lurk god himself, Avery Williamson, is going to get another interception, his 2nd of the game, and we have the ball in field goal territory. What a play by Avery Williamson, man. That guy has been our defensive captain, along with Jamal Adams. Both of those guys have been great, but Williamson has stepped up time and time again, and we need a turnover. He's been fantastic. 2nd and 7 after Mixon got us about 3. Back in the shotgun, we got Pryor across the middle. We're going to throw it, and it is knocked away at the last second. There has been pressure in the face of Sam Darnold all night long, and look, multiple injuries in the offensive line. Guys is not able to get open so far tonight. It's another 3rd down, but we are in field goal territory. So Darnold again sitting back. He's got a guy right here. He's going to find Pryor underneath it. Look, Pryor had 1 catch in the first half, and he's come back with multiple here in the second. This team is finally over 100 passing yards. Darnold's, whole completion percentage, it's been abysmal, for being honest. So we're going to flip the line. See if we can run a little bit over here to the left. And again, not too great, but we did get one. Got Sam under center again. You'll see him roll out a little bit. He's going to throw it in. He throws it to the linebacker there. The defensive end linebacker is going to get that one. And the end of the 3rd quarter leads to a horrible play for the Jets. The Texans have to feel great right now. They have got not the best field position, but they're in charge of this game at the moment. We're going to try to get to the edge. We are going to hit Lamar Miller in the back for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Watson again under center. We're going to fake a little bit of a blitz here. It's like a pass for sure. Goes out to the edge. Anderson's going to run backwards trying to juke out the defender, and they lost 2 on the play. This is a big down. 3rd down and 12 from the 4. If we can stop them here, it's possible we could go for something like a punt block. Gonna try to get a little pressure. Lamar Miller cuts out to the edge, and he's gonna get stopped at the 3. They just consecutively lost yards. This is a big moment here. Can Houston get this punt off from their own 3-yard line? They'll send the pressure as soon as they hike that football. May's trying to get in. He's almost there. The block from the other side is nearly there. We're going to call for a fair catch here at the 50-yard line and see if we can get into the end zone on this play. The offense, despite all of our missteps, we're still in this game. We have not played well, passing, rushing, whatever you want. And no, we don't even get a block there. Colton Miller is going to pick that one up, and we lose 10 yards there. At this point, I can't even really blame Sam Darnold. One incredible defensive line, one really bad offensive line. You already know what kind of, game that's going to spell. 3rd down and 10. It started off promising, and then you saw what basically happened. So again, Darnold's here, pressure in his face, but he finds a wide open Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor's going to try to hurdle over someone, and he literally almost ended his career. The Jets are wholeheartedly still in this football game right now. I don't know how. Sam Darnold being 11 for 26, having less than 40 rushing yards so far on so many attempts. We are right in this ball game, and we're trying to keep it going, but we can't even get a halfback screen going. On this drive, Darnold has to take the pressure that's been in his face all game long and just find a way to make it work. But Darnold says, you know what, we're going to go ahead and run it. Darnold is out here trying to show off the legs. He's going to move down to the 14, needing about 2 more yards for a first. Everyone on this Jets team is completely gassed right now. Darnold's trying to keep his head on straight. Guy across the middle, but before he can even get the pass off, he is sacked by Tyrann Mathieu. Darnold has tried to put this team on his back, but just the protection, it just hasn't been there. So we're lining for a field goal. Santos kicks it up. This one is going to get pushed. And Santos misses his 2nd field goal of the day. Houston knows they are right where they want to be. A couple of first downs, and they can walk out of here with a W. So we're going to try to stop that, trying to get some pressure on Watson, and we get a huge sack off the edge. This home crowd is fired up right now. The Jets are trying to get a stop here so they can have one more shot at getting into the end zone. So Watson obviously going to be passing here. Checks one down. That one is nearly picked off again by Williamson. 3rd and 19. Coach Vini trying to talk to the refs, say, look, man, we just need a call or two. Call a holding penalty on them. Throw you a $20 bill. Like, hey, whatever we can do, man. So 3rd and 19, Watson again, looking poised, throws one deep. This one's going to be hit to Griffin. David Griffin was wide open on that play. A 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts, and basically a dream right now. Houston, you can expect to run almost every single down here. So Watson under center. We'll try to get a little bit of pressure. Lamar Miller goes through the line. We're going to try to force him back, but instead he gets about 4. Watson again moves under center in the I formation. Small adjustment at the line. He's going to hand it off to Miller, and he's killed by Williamson. 3rd down and 10. How many 3rd downs have we seen Coach Vini just pacing there? Get this man some medicine, man. He's got to be upset. So Watson looking to pass, obviously, here. Trying to get a first down to keep this clock moving. Oh, they actually go with the halfback draw. Luckily, we are going to swallow a Miller there. With 1:48 left, we are forcing them to punt. Got to imagine this is it right here. Last drive of the game for the Jets to try to do something positive. Quickly across the middle, you see Terrell Pryor out here running. Look at Terrell Pryor putting in some work. Darnold makes adjustment at the line. He's got Pryor going deep on this one. He's chilling. He's got a guy moving. He's going to try to get the sideline catch. Jeremy Maclin had it, but he didn't get his feet down. 2nd down from the 35. Still a lot of time left to play in this game. Got to be smart, though. This one's close, and it's thrown right to Cole. Darnold panics, pressure in his face. Darnold goes in for a tackle, his first of the game, and just like that, Houston just clinched this game. And because of that, the game is going to be over. Coach Vini knows this team had it right there. And Darnold, I can't fault him. The injuries to the offensive line, I think, played the biggest part in this game. The running game couldn't go on. The passing game had too much pressure. And the Jets just weren't ready for this game against the Texans. Deshaun Watson ends up going 16 of 25 today for 186 yards and a touchdown. He had a couple of picks, however. Sam Darnold with a horrible QB rating, basically half of what we saw there from Deshaun Watson. 12 of 30. Yeah, 12 of 30 for 184 yards. No touchdowns, and as you guys already know, 2 interceptions. On the ground, Joe Mixon was basically pedestrian. 14 attempts for 33 yards. Lamar Miller really couldn't get a game going either on his side, and Sam Darnold had the only rushing touchdown of the afternoon. And receiving it for Houston, you see Will Fuller go 6 for 67, 1 touchdown, which was a huge one, obviously on that blitz we had. Terrell Pryor woke up in the second half, 4 catches, 72 yards, no touchdowns for him. And DeAndre Hopkins had not too many catches or yards, but a huge conversion for his team. And defensively, we saw Darren Lee go ham with 7 tackles. We saw Avery Williamson getting the player of the game, I think at least for our side. 6 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Today's game was definitely disappointing, and we have a lot to work on. So we'll be looking at tons of film and realizing that it could have went a whole lot better. But we're going to skip ahead for week 16. We'll go ahead to week 17. Our final game of the regular season will be against the Patriots. As you guys know, we're not going to make the playoffs. So the NFL draft is going to be coming up pretty soon.